What if your church could preach the gospel to thousands of people and help bring about a great revival abroad through your missions budget? I'm Carlos Chacon, evangelist from Elgin, Illinois, Northwest Bible Baptist Church. I want to talk to you about my Venezuela project. Venezuela is a closed communist country with a dictatorship. The United States Department of Justice has placed sanctions on that country. There is hostility. The American ambassador was removed, along with many American missionaries. It is very difficult for an American to enter the country. I happen to be a Mexican citizen, and I am able to enter the country legally with my Mexican identity and my Mexican passport. Venezuela is a country that has had socialism, inflation, political unrest, and all of these things that come with it, such as crime and corruption and so many things. The good news is that the harvest is ripe. It has never been easier. There has never been a better time to preach the gospel in Venezuela than it is now. The Bible says the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. I want to help your church reach Venezuela for Christ. We are now traveling through an itinerant ministry, through multiple trips, going in and out of Venezuela. I spend 2 weeks at a time, and I go with churches. My strategy is to partner with the nationals, to partner with the national pastors, and to help the local churches. We are helping them, training pastors, training the people, talking about soul winning and outreach and evangelism and discipleship and the Great Commission, to motivate them, to encourage them. We use the word motivation, but the Bible term is exhortation. We have to exhort them. We have to encourage them and motivate them. If the nationals will get on fire for God, they will reach their own country for Christ. Not only that, but our job is to come alongside them and to lead them in large-scale gospel crusades and large-scale outdoor open-air evangelism. Some of these meetings are planned and organized beforehand. Other meetings are spontaneous. I am taking trips and I go there and I am raising money. I am seeking like-minded sponsors to partner with me, that together we might make an impact in this country to reach thousands of people for Christ. In my first trip to Venezuela, I went in August in 2021, and I spent 2 weeks. I was in the city of Maracay. I held an evangelistic crusade in Guihue, Carabobo, which is another town. I also had a meeting in Ocumare del Tuy, and we had different crowds. We had meetings. In Ocumare, we had 1,600 people in a stadium. In Guihue, we had 1,300 people listening to the gospel, even standing in the basketball court. In Maracay, I hosted a pastor's conference where we saw 9 pastors and other workers and leaders. In a 2-week time period, we preached the gospel to over 5,000 people. In my trip in December, I went to the Amazon region, which is known as the state of Amazonas. And there we were able to preach the gospel in tribal villages where different villages speak different dialects and different languages. We were able to preach the gospel in a gospel crusade with over 4,300 people in attendance. And in different villages, one village had 800 people, another village had 700 people. We're talking about a total of over 6,400 people who heard the gospel. In 2 trips, we have preached the gospel to over 11,000 people in Venezuela. We are seeing over a third to half of the people receive Christ and get saved and receive the Lord and make decisions. We can do more if we can finance more. We can do more if we can sponsor more. These meetings cost money. We have to sometimes secure a stadium or a sports center, and pay to rent. We have to rent chairs. We have to hire a cleanup crew. I like to buy bottles of water. Some people walk from long distances to be in these meetings. There are different expenses such as buses and bus drivers that we have to hire. We hire police and ambulance and so forth, a medical team to be on standby. Sometimes this is a requirement from the city council in order to obtain the permits to have large-scale meetings. So I want to help you understand what's happening and invite you to partner with me. I need your help. We need love offerings. We need missionary support. I need churches that will say, I would like to sponsor one of those trips. It costs close to $7,000 just to meet budget for a complete 2.5-week trip to do everything that we have to do. For our travel expenses, for securing a stadium, for hosting the pastors' conferences. I like to bring thousands of tracts, and I have these tracts custom made. I like to print the church name and address and schedule so that it can really be useful to the pastors. This is a time when we need to help the national pastors through large-scale outreach. So I invite you to partner with me. Thank you so much.